So Yonago was the next place I served, and Yonago is I think it's in Tottori Ken, but it's up on the side of Japan that's closer to Korea. And so it's got a beach right there. The beach was actually pretty close. We would go and do, sometimes we'd go and do our weekly planning. We'd go and sit like right next to the beach and kind of watch the waves kind of roll in and kind of sit there for a little while and think, ponder, and be doing our weekly planning at the same time. It was pretty sweet. It was beautiful right there. Yonago is kind of interesting because it's got that kind of that beach right there, and then it's also got a fairly decently dense population. But then as you go out a little bit farther, it becomes very, very country. And then there's a giant mountain right next to it. It's the biggest mountain in probably the Kobe mission in the south side of Japan, I think even. And so we went, and one day for preparation day, we actually went and climbed that mountain. It was called Daisen. And I guess when you compare Daisen to maybe like Mount Tibanogus, there's like a huge difference. It's probably mostly just a hill, but it still took us a good like 2 hours, I think, to maybe about an hour and a half or so to get up to the top of the mountain. And we felt pretty cool. We were able to see the entire area that we had. It was a beautiful place. There's lots of trees there, the forest. There's like a whole lot more nature in Yonago. Yonago probably has one of the biggest wards in the Kobe mission. Like the ward is, I think, over 100 people big, and there's probably 30 to 40 primary children, so it's really, really noisy. So it was pretty great. I loved it because all these kids are really, really excited about church, and they're also just kind of just goofy kids in general. So it was really fun to go to church and to take investigators to church and help them see that, wow, like this really is a family-centered church. Like I kind of get it now. So that was really fun. We were able to meet a lot of really, really cool people in Yonago. There was one man that we met who he was an older man who actually worked making sake. He made like rice wine, I guess, is what it's called. He just met us on the street. He knew that we spoke English, and he was talking to us, and he found out that we did free English classes, and he was like, great, I'm gonna come. And then he called us like probably 5 minutes after we had given him the flyer and walked away, and he said, I'm definitely coming for sure. Actually, could I just come tomorrow and just like talk with you guys? Is that cool? Sure, yeah. And so he came to the church. We talked with him for a little bit, probably about 10 minutes or so about like English. And then he was in the church. So he was like, well, I'm in the church right now. What do you guys believe? And so we were able to talk to him about what we believed. And one thing that really helped him understand, really helps a lot of Japanese people understand, was drawing pictures. Japanese people tend to be really visual learners, is what I kind of learned. I think mostly because of the kanji and the characters that they memorize. But we drew a lot of pictures, helping him understand who his Heavenly Father was. We drew a picture of like a stick figure and said, this is God. And kind of drew like a bunch of other stick figures and said, this is all of us. Like we're all his children. And we kind of drew pictures of Jesus Christ and helped him understand that through Jesus Christ we can return to live with God. And as he was talking with us, he kept making connections back to the faith that he had and saying, this looks right, this looks true. Like I feel like there's truths that are connected. And we're like, yeah, for sure. And he kept talking with us, and he kept wanting to understand and to learn more. And we had a great friendship. We kept talking with him, and he kept believing more and more. He began to pray on his own every day and every night to understand and to know if what we were teaching was true. He began to read the Book of Mormon to pray to know if it was true. And unfortunately, about halfway through our teaching process, he had to leave for about 6 months to go and work at his job, because his job was actually in a different place. So I don't know the full story with him, but he was well on his way. and he already had a fairly strong testimony of the divinity of the Book of Mormon. And he already just loved church, and he loved seeing the love between members and between like the missionaries. And he said, I want my house to be like you guys. I want my family to be like you guys. I want everybody to be happy and be working together. I don't have that right now. I want this. And so, again, like, families are something that are very important to Japanese people, and that's one thing that they connect with very much.